Hello everyone. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. Genki desu ka? Konnichiwa, konbanwa, ohayou gozaimasu. Today we're gonna make Oden. Oden is a Japanese dish that originated back in the 14th centuries, believed to be from the Murokuchi period, one of the empire in Japan. I'm not a historian, so I don't know much about history. I use that from Google, but I do know how to make it. So back in the day in the empire, it was just people having disaster in temperature and or being in the army, trying to have some food to fulfill the energy level. And it makes it so easy, so they just put the fish stocking in there and then just put all the meat and vegetables in there, just serve with rice. And then it was in a period of time that they skewer the tofu and vegetables and they grill it as well. But now I'm doing my own version of it. Whether that's traditional or not, I don't think so, but this is what I've got left in my refrigerator because I'm a lazy chef. Right, let's get started. I've got mori, which is the carrot things, but it's white in color. Well, so I just peeled it. So apologize, the camera is a little bit darker than normal because I'm standing, blocking the light. Because in this way, I can use my right hand. And you probably realize sometimes I use my left hand, which looks a little bit of not very smooth because I'm right-handed, but sometimes I use my left hand because of the camera setup. Or I just stand in a funny angle that I don't know how to do it yet, so I'm trying my best to increase the quality of my video. I'm trying to improve. So I chopped the head off. Actually, this head, you can put it in water and regrow, and then they will grow some sort of like a celery type of vegetables in there, so you can use that again. This time I don't. Chop tail off. Looks like a rat's tail, isn't it? Right, I'm going to use the whole one. So, but before I do anything else, I'm going to wash this. So I'll be back in a minute. Oh, this is fully washed. So, I just use the quickest way to chop it, the even sizes. And I put it on top of my container for later use. Because I will show you how to decorate the whole thing. Right, we love this. Here we go. So it doesn't need to be the same thickness, but preferably if they can cook evenly. Right, in this way, I've done my vegetables. Maybe I need to have a better tray. So next, I'm going to prepare some Chinese leaf. Chinese leaves. You just peel it off this way, right? Just peel it off like that. Right, that should be enough. And give it a good wash. That's all done. So the way I do it, because I'm lazy, I just make it easy. So some people will do it this way. So on the side, that to make it really pretty. And it's up to you if you want to do it that way. And I'll show you the second way of trimming this. Right, so that's another way. So the other one is just to do that too. Job done, all of them. So I put it on a container, and that I need to dry it and then put it back into the fridge. I'm gonna get some firm bean curd, which is what I call tofu. So be careful, you got water in there, so you just poke a little hole like that. Oops. And then remove the water. Oh. That's 3 of them. Right, you can cut it this way, diagonally, whoop, like that, and then you cut it this way, and it becomes many triangles. It's quite cute, isn't it? Yes. Okay, so I put it on a container just like that. Just put it on a container just like that. You can cut it whatever shape makes you feel happy. You can do round shape, you can do pentagon, you can do hexagon, octagon, whatever. And you can do it strips. Or you can just smash it. Right, put it that way. So these two, I'm not going to use it, but I'm going to cut them and put it into the freezer. When this put into the freezer, they expand and have air void in there, which makes the tofu texture a lot different, and I like that way as well. So I'm saving all these and putting them into just a normal sandwich bag and then in the freezer. Show you sandwich bag, put it in there, all in. Oh, maybe I need another one. Right, another one, all in there, all in there. Right, that save for later. Right, have we got enough vegetables? I think I'm happy about it. Right, but short ribs, and when I picked it, you know, the fat one got a bit of marble in there. I'm not going to use it all, but I'm going to show you how I am going to trim it. Just like that. So it's got a bone in there. So the best way to do it is do it from the side, through the bone, and then open it. Once you got it that way, you just follow the bone and cut it through. Cut it through that way. And you don't need to use this knife. You can use a utility knife, you can use whatever, butcher's knife, that's up to you. So see that bone in there? I cut it that side, cut it that way. Yes, my chopping board is annoying me, and I can't be bothered putting the paper towel in there. I'm just lazy, because I believe that probably won't chop my finger off yet. So doing the beef is quite easy, and you just cut a bit of tendon out of there. So that normally takes a long time to cook as well. So I normally just save the bone and the meat on the side of the bone for a different time. So I don't put it in waste, I reuse them. So you see the tendon on the top on there, as you can see, you just need to follow it through. Try not to trim too much off, or you've got not much left. But for today's video, I'm gonna make it easy for everyone, because again, I'm not gonna put them into waste. So for the tendon and the chewy bit, I'm just gonna cut into very small cube and put it in there, so they can cook under high pressure cooker. So a little bit left in there. Yeah, it's annoying when it keeps moving, isn't it? Right. When I run out of patience, I just use violence. Just use my power to take them all that way. It's a bit like slicing the fish skin out from the meat. Right, so I'm just gonna cut it like that, put it in there, and then that will be staying at the bottom of the pot while I make the oden. Right, meat is ready. So I'm gonna do with it. Cut it in half. So I make strips. Making a lot of strips. So short ribs is famous for its tenderness, so it's very tender meat. So what I'm gonna do with this, I'm gonna cut a few slices horizontally, just like that, just like that, just like that, just like that. So this is my favorite for Oden. You can use sirloin, you can use top rumps, you can use silver joint, whatever you call, and you can use wagyu beef. But I would say that's so expensive. You can use skirt, you can use hanger steaks, anything you like. Cut it thin slice, but not too thin, just like that, okay? So do a bit of, you run the knife from the bottom to the top at each course. 1, 2, 3, like that. And for the last one, it's always a bit tougher in there. And this one we just make strips. Okay. So that is ready. So I put the bones in there as part of the meat. So bone goes first, and then this meat goes second. So that's pretty much ready. One more ingredient. Right, so the next ingredient is this massive prawns. So what I tend to do is I just chop the head off. You don't have to do it that way, but just my way of doing that. Look at the legs, massive legs. So I peel it off in the sink and come back to it. So yeah, prawns done, like that. And head here. So this is the next ingredient. So it's got some sort of fish balls in there, all sorts of different things. So because I'm just making a meal for 3 and not using too much on there. So let's take another one. Right, so that probably will be enough. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 13. Not quite lucky number, so I put 2 back. Right. 3, 6, 9, 12. So we're 4 each. Perfect. So now let's move on to the stove. Right, so what we do here now is to make a stocking first, which is the most important thing in this dish. And we need that one because the ingredients are going in there and the soup's gonna come out. So, and then we need to have a big enough pot to put all the stocking in there. So I'm gonna put a bamboo mat in the bottom so it stops it from scratching it. So when the oil is heated up, the first thing I do is I put the prawn shell in there. It got moisture in there, so I just make sure the moisture being evaporated in the air outside through the chimney hood. But you put nothing else apart from this prawn in there, so it's a long process. Just making sure there's no water in there, but the prawns was frozen, I can tell you. I use frozen prawns. They're all frozen in this country. So we talk about sea foraging on other videos. So we live by the sea in the south, and in this area they have a lot of seafood that Asian loves, absolutely love them. And most people like it, they like the seafood. We got razor clams that you can take it out of the sand by using a bit of salt. I think I have another video showing how to do it. And if you get a shuttle or a spade to the seaside when it's very low tide, what you're likely to catch is something called the geoduck, which is like a clump, bit of oil in there. So I don't know whether you can smell it, but it smells lovely here. Oh my days, I'm already drunk. I just watched this cook. Oh yeah, none yet. You can see the oil is bubbling with, the oil coming from the pond. Oh yes. Well, I'm doing things while I'm cooking, and I'm talking to you, even I'm talking rubbish, but I'm still talking, so yes. I have no intention to make this video too long, so I might have to trim some of them, because I'm constantly talking, so I doubt I can do that. So I might have to do, this video as part 1, and I will have to show you part 2. So part 1 is the separation of the video. I think we've got about 20 minutes now, and I'm going to do part 2. So time now is 4:15. Outside's already dark, no atmosphere, 8 or like 8, especially Northern Europe. I wouldn't call myself Central Europe, but we're in the UK, so you can see the colours already changing, and you look at that. So now I need to go to put the kettle on. Make sure you've got the window open and your chimney exhaust fan open, extract fan open, or you're just gonna make your whole house or your whole apartment really foggy. Ooh, isn't it lovely? So you can make them really crispy as well. This form, just squeeze it, wash it down. Make sure all the good stuff comes out from them in the oil, because that is going to make a huge difference to your Oden. So if someone can leave a comment below and tell me about more history about the Oden, because I'm interested in it. But just looking at Google, I look at the people that watch my video, they're relatively young, just like me, younger than me. But if you're in the 80s or in the 90s, I mean in age, watching this, and you happen to understand what I say, and if you originate from Japan, then please leave a comment below and tell me about the Oden and that empire period. I'm really interested to know more about that. If you study history, come and tell me. I think they should have a history course just purely to do, world cuisine history, and I would definitely be the first one going into that course. But some people will use that prawn oil, but I'm not going to bother today because I'm lazy. Feel free to put that into a jar for the oil because they're good for dressing. Hot water is. Look at that. Can you see anything? No, I doubt you can. But this is what happens after you put a lot of water, especially boiling water, into a hot pan with oil. Look at that, already makes it very cloudy. I've done nothing yet. So I'm gonna cook this for 15 minutes. But before I do that, so the prawn comes out in there now. You can see. Yeah, lovely, isn't it? Right. So what I do is I put it on. Oh, there's one left in there. Go back in. And then I put it into the other pan. Just like that. I put it back in. But here, while I do that, because the prawn isn't cooked yet, but I still equally want to cook my beef bones. And those beef with quite a bit of tendon in there. And then I put the soup back in. So, doing that, I guarantee my prawn will be cooked in the container without having to shoot the prawn later. And then I put it in there. So this is just to prepare the stocking. Although I know I'm a lazy chef, but I want to do this in a good way. So last but not least is to put the Oden powder in there. So this is a bit of dry fish stocking, Japanese dry fish stocking. And I put it in the side, or in. And then we're going to come back in half an hour. So I might well just put more water in there now. Right, here we go. And then now we close the lid. That. Bring it to boil, and then switch to low heat, cook it for an hour. And the stocking will be guaranteed very good. So part 2 video is coming, so thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed so far. So please look out for part 2. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, and you will see part 2 of the video. Right, see you in a bit.